The rate of homelessness among women and children in Sacramento is growing every year, and there's a real need for resources specifically targeted to service their unique needs. Here to tell us about the ways in which they're addressing those needs and how you can help on the big day of giving is St. John's Program for Real Change. We have board member Kim Hiltak. Hi, Kim.
Hi, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you on. I've had the opportunity to work with St. John's Program for Real Change, and you guys do a lot of phenomenal work. What makes your program unique to our viewers who aren't familiar?
Well, you know, I always say St. John's is more than a shelter. Obviously, the first step to serving our unhoused population is to put a roof over their head, but that doesn't truly stop the cycle of poverty and crisis and homelessness in people's lives. St. John's is the only program in Sacramento that provides a 12 to 18-month residential program with what we call our wraparound services. So the women who come to our door, they choose to enter the program. They have either been homeless or are on the verge of homelessness. Many have children, and in fact, 25% of the women who enter our program with children have open CPS cases. So they don't currently have custody of their children, and they desperately want them back. So our services are substance abuse counseling, mental health services, job training, family training, parenting classes, and we help these women work through their CPS cases, and these families are reunited right at St. John's, and they're able to heal and grow together.
Yeah, and you're helping their life as a whole. Along with providing housing, you're making sure that they have those tools and those steps to move forward when leaving the program, which I think is so important. Yeah. And St. John's recently launched their Family and Children's Services. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, you know, this is a big focus for us, and the leadership at St. John's, our staff are so talented and so gifted in just serving this population. They really felt strongly, and the board obviously supports it, that to truly stop the cycle, you have to reach the children, and we have to offer some really intensive care for them. So in addition to serving our women population, we've launched our family services in 2022. This is intensive child counseling, family counseling, after-school tutoring. A lot of the children come in behind grade level. They've not been able to attend school regularly. It manifests itself in behaviors, anxiety, depression. We really need to focus in on this child population, and that's something that we as a board and as an entire organization have been working on this year.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to visit one of your campus locations, and I got to meet one of the women that was part of the program, and she lit up being able to show me her room. She had 5 kids, and when she talked about her 5 kids, she talked about the routine that she had for them right off in the morning. They tidied up their rooms, they got ready for school, and they weren't able to do that without the assistance of St. John's Program for Real Change. How does it feel to hear these success stories that come from the women and their children when they walk through your doors and they're leaving better?
Yeah, I'm delighted to hear it, and it's invaluable. I've volunteered for St. John's for the past 15 years, so I've had the opportunity to meet women in the program and then run into them just out in the community as they're working. And they proudly tell me that they're, you know, buying a home, that their children are on the honor roll or going to college. It's amazing to see the true change that's happened, and really the trajectory of their lives have been changed, and also their children's. So it really is, it creates a solution. It's not a Band-Aid, it's a long-term solution. We've changed the trajectory of their lives.
Yeah, and you said you volunteered with St. John's for 15 years, and now you're a board member. What was it about St. John's that made you want to continuously grow within this organization?
I mean, you know, my family and I decided we would really focus our giving and our time on St. John's because we share the same values. Yeah. We believe that the solution to homelessness is more than a roof over your head. It's certainly the first step, but you know, fundamentally, we're all the same. We all just have had different life experiences, and we need to help people. You know, people need to come in, and we need to offer them a solution that's viable for them. And so the women come in, they're offered the opportunity to make different changes in their life, and they're given the tools. Yeah. You know, it's easy to tell someone, well, just make a different choice. But that's not, in practical application, that's often not possible. Yeah. So St. John's, by asking women to come in and commit to the program for that long, you have a willing participant who's willing to invest their time, and frankly, it can be very uncomfortable and completely disruptive to their lives. Yeah. But it's worth it because they see the difference, they see the change, and they also are able to build a healthy community of women that they can heal with together. They have similar experiences. The kids have similar experiences.
All right, well, all the more reason to donate to St. John's program for real change on the big day of giving. It's
Yes.
the opportunity to do so. And you can find out more by going to stjohnsprogram.org/about. Again, we really want to help and support all of our local nonprofit organizations in the community. So make sure to donate for Big Day of Giving.